I understand that's sexy. I know it gets me going.
I forget what the hell. I forget how the hell it went, but I was picking on him for. He had went up into the 200s as I had dropped down into the 200s at about the same time, and he goes, "Oh, we are not going to meet in the middle."
Benjamin buttoning with fucking health.
Yeah, he made it up to, I think, 215 before he started. Okay, I got to do something about this.
Yeah, I was pretty heavy too, but I'm just naturally built big anyway.
I was up to 355 in my heaviest.
No, I was up to 300.
Yeah.
Heaviest. Yeah, I'm about 250 now.
I went from 355 to about 275 back when I was lifting heavy every single day, and I'm back up to about 300 now.
Cool.
This whole having my weight set across town is not beneficial to working out.
Yeah.
When it was in your bedroom, you had no excuses.
Well, yeah. Well, and, the more you do it, the more you get into it, the more you want to do it, the more you are compelled to do it. So, I mean, just getting into the rhythm is the hard part.
I'm pretty sure I cracked the concrete floor at my old apartment deadlifting one night. Because there's the concrete
Did you break
carpet foam carpet. Huh?
Did you break your weight?
No, but there was a weird, wobble in the floor. After that. I chipped the concrete for sure.
Good thing it was the floor, the ground floor.
Yeah, I wasn't on the second floor.
That could kill the baby.
Come through the ceiling. Catch.
So we're on, right? This has all been recorded?
Oh, yeah, we've been recording for 4.5 minutes now.
All right. This is the Higher Minds podcast.
It is.
I'm Papa Darby.
I'm Scott.
How you doing?
I'm all right.
We're actually recording on a Sunday morning, which is atypical for us. So we've traded in our beer for fucking coffee. I have. He doesn't have it. But we're still smoking weed because, I'm a stoner like that.
And I'm not typically a stoner like that. I like to smoke in the evening, but that's the whole point of the show is we smoke while we talk. So yeah. I'm waking bacon today.
And I absolutely, for everybody who's old enough and a proponent for smoking all day, every day, it makes life better. If you do it, then you can still, you get used to it. You can still do your job.
I like to be productive in the morning, go run my errands or whatever the hell I got going on for the day.
Smoke weed and get
and then come home, 11 o'clock, noon, whatever, eat some lunch and bake, on my days off or whatever.
You mean like smoke weed, not bake like pastries? Because I like to bake.
No.
Well, I like pastries too.
No, I can't bake for shit.
Oh.
I can cook pretty well, but I can't bake for shit.
Well, they have classes for that.
Baking is too much like chemistry. It's got to be too precise. When I cook, I never make the same thing the same way twice. It's like, let's try these spices this time, or let's fucking double the hot sauce and regret it later.
Yeah, baking is more precise than that. You're right. You're grinding up some weed. What are you grinding up?
The weed of the week.
And
this week, the weed of the week is Santa Cruz Sour Diesel.
Santa Cruz Sour Diesel. Now, you only got a gram or some shit of that, right?
Yeah.
So
I've never tried it before. Usually I'll try a gram, and if I like it, I'll get
first before you grind it up.
Yeah, there's some more left in there.
Oh, there. Okay. All right.
Yeah, there's another bud in there. I want a picture of it before we smoke it all up.
Well, so what are we talking about today?
Today is Frankenstein.
It is Frankenstein. But you know what? I want to tell you how we got to this.
Yeah. This is because this was not planned for this week. This was 3 days ago we decided on this episode.
Yeah. So fucking we were going to do Vlad the Impaler. That's a fucking rich subject. There's all sorts. We both just independently for fun researched him, and we could talk about him for 5 hours.
Probably, yeah.
But somebody else got to it first.
Fuckers.
And that happened. You know what? And that has happened several times. I don't know if it's because...
Didn't they do that with the Samuel Little one, too? Right after we released ours, somebody else released one, too?
They did Samuel Little. They did the rock and roll one. And these are different podcasts. There's been a couple of other ones that they...
Oh, this grinder doesn't put shit down in the bottom chamber.
No, you have to dump it from the top. I don't like that grinder.
Yeah.
No offense, HK. Is that grinder?
Well, somehow their grinder ended up in my box, and my grinder ended up somewhere.
So I had their grinder for a little while too. Anyway, so yeah, I'm gonna tell it's True Crime, guys. Check it out. I mean, get all the information about Vlad the Impaler you can, and someday we'll do it.
We'll circle back to it when it's not somebody else doing it right this second. Yeah.
But yeah, so instead we wanted to do. I was like, well, is there another cool classic monster true story type of story? And I
jumped online, did 3 minutes of research, and decided that Frankenstein would be doable.
And turns out, yeah, really is.
Yeah,
some creepy, interesting stuff in here.
So right off the bat, I want to specify that Frankenstein is the scientist, not the monster.
Dr.
It fucking drives me nuts when people call the monster Frankenstein.
To be fair, a lot of things drive
Frankenstein is a monster, but he's not the monster.
Right. Well, it's Frankenstein's monster. That monster was never named.
No.
It was named a monster.
It had names, but not like official names.
And eat pitchfork.
Actually, I have notes on some of the names here somewhere.
Do you really?
Here it is. The monster doesn't have a name at all. He's referred to in the book as wretch, monster, creature, demon, devil, fiend, and it.
It seems pretty well named, actually.
Yeah. Victor Frankenstein, the Dr. Frankenstein, refers to it as vile insect, abhorrent monster, fiend, wretched devil, and abhorrent devil. Abhorrent. I don't know how the fuck to say that this morning.
Abhorrent?
Probably.
You know what? That's sad because, like, the thing was just an empty vessel of soul. Like, he put a soul into a body and then just fucking hated it. And of course it turned into a monster. Spoiler alert.
Ooh, that's good.
Is it?
Santa Cruz sourdough. Pretty decent. So let's start at the beginning with Mary Shelley, I think.
The
author of the book.
Wife to Percy Shelley.
Yeah, actually. Born August 30th, 1797. Died February 1st, 1851. 53 years old at the time of her death.
Oh, really?
At 18, she wrote Frankenstein.
Under what conditions do you know?
They were summering in Switzerland for the summer.
Switzerland?
Sounds like a pretty rough life. Summering in Switzerland at a lake house.
I mean,
with your friends.
It was rough back then.
Yeah.
They didn't have the internet.
And these poor people, it rained like the entire summer. It's like the rainiest summer ever, apparently. So they just hung out in the house trading stories. And they got on the ghost story subject, and Mary Shelley couldn't think of anything. And this went on for days or weeks or whatever. And finally she had a dream that would eventually turn into what we know as Frankenstein now.
That is questionable. I have different information on that. The dream part.
Her husband was also a writer, a poet more specifically, I think. There's a lot of controversy on how much he actually helped with.
I think that it was her. I think it was all her. I think she herself. Like reading both of their stuff, it is clearly her voice. In my opinion, he could have helped too, but as a result of this, I just want to say she became the much more famous writer.
Oh yeah,
Percy Shelley.
Yeah. I had a thought.
Well, okay, so as far as the dream thing, the inspiration, part of what I'm going to do is tell you about a couple of real life Dr. Frankensteins, quote unquote real life Dr. Frankensteins, but these gentlemen were of a time where they didn't know much about the human body, and so they did a bunch of crazy shit to the human body, and these men may have been the inspiration, at least partially, for
yeah, it looked like there were a few that were doing it before the book, and then after the book there were even more doing it.
I mean, there's stories about it happening today.
Yeah.
And the Nazis did that shit.
So Mary Shelley's mother died less than a month after she was born. She was raised by her father, William Godwin. William Godwin is considered the one of the first modern proponents of anarchism. So
What, really?
that's a little side note that I
What,
learned
really?
in this. Yeah.
Like, how so? Like, what did you do?
Just his free thinking, we don't need a state kind of thing.
Was he a writer?
That I don't know. I didn't dig that
Politician?
far into it. I just found that little side note about
He
him.
was a man of means, though, somehow. Like,
Well, obviously, if
they
his
were-
daughter's vacationing in Switzerland for the
Right.
summer, he had money.
Yeah.
So
Was he royalty? Maybe lower royalty?
I don't think so.
Okay.
They just lived in London, I think.
Okay.
Like, nothing special.
Well, he had it better than I do.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know. Actually, I don't know about that.
In 1814, she was born 1797, so that's 17 years old. Right? I think so. It's early for math. 1814, Mary began a romance with Percy Shelley,
Aw.
a political follower of her father, actually. Percy was a poet. When they started dating, Percy was already married at the time.
That had to be, like, fun in middle school. Percy the poet. Percy the poet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't think they were that immature in the 19th century, but
What?
maybe.
What? No. Anyway. English people are never that immature. They have those accents that makes them automatically more mature.
So Percy and Shelley, or Mary, I guess, they're both Shelleys eventually, toured Europe and came back pregnant.
Percy got pregnant?
No,
I knew he was a
Percy
poet.
got Mary pregnant.
I'm gonna make fun of
The
poets.
baby was born premature and died, unfortunately.
Oh, no.
That's going to be a theme in Mary's life.
You know what? Anne Rice is like that. You know anything about Anne Rice?
I've read her vampire books.
All of them?
No, just
they're
a couple of them.
My favorite set of books. I read all of them. I love them. They're my, yeah, she's one of my favorite authors. But same thing
I
happened
found
to
the
her.
Vampire Lestat was really good, but hard to get through. Like, it was one that I had to, okay, I'm going to read this for half an hour today. Like, I liked it, but it wasn't page-turning.
I think Interview was the first one and Lestat was the second one, and I think you had to have the knowledge of the first one in order to like really get through.
Yeah.
But my favorite was Memnoch the Devil. Did you
I
read
don't know
that
if I
one?
read that one.
Oh,
I read probably 2 or 3 of them when I was in high school.
It was kind of like Anne Rice's Divine Comedy.
Okay.
It was really good.
The movies are good. Queen of the Damned and Interview with the Vampire. They don't follow closely.
Well, no, Interview does pretty well.
Yeah, for the
Queen
most
of the
part,
Damned is like that.
Yeah.
The book is so much better. Like it's
And
the story. It's
Lestat has so much. He's telling a story about somebody telling a story about somebody else telling a story that you could never make it a movie. Like,
no,
it goes like 3 layers deep into Inception.
yeah, but I don't know. I love him. If you can get through him, it's like the entire thing. It's
Mhm.
super compelling. But Claudette. Oh, what was her name? The one played by Kirsten Dunst.
Claudine sounds right,
Yeah,
but I don't know.
whatever.
It's been a
Anyway.
long time.
That represented her daughter who died at least early childhood or something like that. Her husband is also a poet.
Huh.
Stan Rice.
I wonder if Mary Shelley ever wrote bad romance novels.
Did
Maybe
you read
there's
any of
more
those?
to
I read some of
this.
those too.
No, I know of them. I've never read any of them.
They're hard.
I would imagine so. I don't think we're their target demographic.
But she does have actually has a like a mummy kind of, or no, a genie or something. I forget. Another book. It was okay. Not as good as her vampire book.
No?
Anyway, sorry.
So yeah, they came back from this European trip, and Mary Shelley was pregnant. Child born premature, died. They were married. Mary and Percy were married in 1816. Now, remember when I told you that Percy was already married when they started dating?
Yeah.
They waited to get married until after his wife had committed suicide.
Say this again. I'm sorry. What?
Percy Shelley's first wife committed suicide. In turn, Percy Shelley and what would now become Mary Shelley got married after her suicide.
After the death of their baby,
The baby died. Yes,
and then Percy's first wife, committed suicide,
correct.
and then they got married.
Correct.
Is that not suspicious as fuck?
Yeah, I would think so, yeah.
Considering what they were talking, what she ended up writing. Oh my
right,
god, that
right.
makes a lot of fucking sense.
Yeah. air quotes, suicide.
Oh my god. Did you just solve a crime?
I might have.
Oh,
I created a crime and solved it all within about 30 seconds.
Oh, wow. That's, ding, ding, ding.
As we were saying, she came up with the idea for Frankenstein while summering in Switzerland in 1816. They moved to Italy in 1818, had 2 more children. Both of them died too. Her only surviving child was Percy Florence Shelley. So 3 dead babies and 1 live one.
What, Percy's Florence Shelley was a boy or a girl?
Boy. I'm assuming just from Percy Shelley.
Those poorly named people.
Yes.
That sucks. Like, I was never a bully, but I know kids that would have beat the shit out of that kid just for being named Percy Florence.
Having a 1-syllable name makes it really hard for people to rhyme shit with your name, so.
Nope, they were pretty successful with my name.
Yeah, it's hard to rhyme with Scott.
Yeah.
Scott, got, hot,
Bot.
Caught. It's not that hard to rhyme with Scott. It's hard to rhyme mean things with Scott, I guess. Percy Shelley, her husband, drowned in a sailing accident in 1822 during a storm, after which she and her son returned to England, where she pretty much just focused on raising her son, doing a little bit of writing on the side.
Wait, Percy died in a storm?
In a sailing boat.
In a sailing boat?
Yes.
Well, they were all 3 on the boat?
I think just him was on the boat.
I mean, I'm looking for another crime.
Oh, okay. Percy done pissed off Poseidon.
Well, that's not murder. That's sacrifice.
Aside from Frankenstein, a lot of her work went largely unnoticed and unappreciated until like the 1970s. There was kind of a
How old was she at the
Mary
time?
Shelley resurgence.
How old was she at the time?
In the 1970s?
No, 1970s.
Yes.
Oh. She was
multiple years dead.
She was 170-ish?
Almost 200. She was born in 1797. So 19. Nope.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Coming up on 200.
Yeah. She looks good for that age.
Sure.
I think. I haven't seen her in a long time. But anyway. So
Frankenstein was thought up in 1860, was published in 1818 for the very first time.
Okay.
Didn't have an author on it, though.
Oh, really?
Her name doesn't appear on until the 2nd edition.
Why?
I don't know. That's why there's suspicion between who did more of the work, her or her husband.
When did Percy die?
He died 1822.
When did the 2nd edition come out?
After that, I think it was like 1830s. I think.
Ooh. Dun, dun, dun.
We could probably look it up. When was the 2nd edition of Frankenstein
you
published?
Yeah, let's do that. I'll get my phone because
I'm
not getting too much.
I don't know where the fuck I put my phone at.
When did the 2nd edition of Frankenstein? The 2nd edition? First edition.
First edition should be 1818.
2nd edition published in 1823.
A year after her husband died in a sailing accident. We're onto something here.
Holy shit.
She's just killing off competition left and right. First her husband's wife, then her husband, killed 3 of her kids.
Oh, wow. Was she a Black Widow? Did this turn into a true crime podcast?
Why did she let Percy Florence Shelley live? The lone surviving son. Maybe because she knew she was going to get old and needed somebody to take care of her.
Well, yeah. Maybe. She needed to cling on to somebody. Wow.
We're onto something here.
Holy shit. Mary Shelley was a murdering... you know what? I'm not even going to say a legend. She fucking murdered all those people. Yep. What's she going to do?
She's not here to defend herself, so...
Fuck that bitch. Murdering bitch. But she wrote a good story.
She did.
Or maybe she wrote it. I don't know. No, I'll give her the credit. I absolutely will give her the credit, but...
Have you read Frankenstein?
Yes, I have.
Okay. I attempted to read it years ago and couldn't get into it. It's written in epistolary, maybe?
Epistolar.
It's basically correspondence letters between people back and forth. And I found that very distracting and hard to get into.
What did you find distracting and hard to get into?
The way it's written. Because it's written as letters back and forth between people.
Oh. I don't remember that.
It's not written like a novel. It's like a story.
That's right. It's like, it reads like Victor's diary.
Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah, there's stuff from him. There's stuff from, I think, a sailor. There's stuff from the monster himself, because in the book, the monster is not a dumb, mumbling monster.
So in the original story, Victor is trying to build the perfect man, and so the monster is larger than normal size, because that's more perfect, and it was a handsome, smart, person, and then it started decaying, and
right.
Yeah,
it's not like in the movies.
And it came
oddly
about
enough,
in an unholy way.
For the most part, most loyal to the book, excluding the third act because they ruined the bride, is the Mary Shelley's Frankenstein with De Niro playing the monster. Have you ever seen that one?
Yeah, and that has that one stage actor playing Victor.
Yeah, I know who you're talking about.
Oh, what is that guy's name? Like, he's like, I guess a god amongst actors. I forget his name though.
yeah, that one, except for the third act because they ruined the story with the bride.
He played the stupid professor in Harry Potter. What the fuck is his name? It's not Vincent D'Onofrio, but that keeps popping into my head. Although he's good too.
Couldn't tell you.
Anyway, but that one, yeah, that's doesn't the one in the movie though? Doesn't he come out kind of monstrous at first too? De Niro. I think I remember.
Yeah, I think so. But he does learn to talk and everything.
Oh no, he's smarter than everybody else.
Helena Bonham Carter's in that one too. She plays the bride.
Oh yeah.
Always had a weird thing for her. Like, she's hot, but like in a not traditionally hot way.
She's hot like the chick from Cranberries was hot, but I think the chick from Cranberries is hotter because she's a rocker chick, and I have a thing for that.
Her Irish accent does something for me for some reason too. Yeah. She's dead.
She does nothing for me now.
Yep.
Unfortunately. R.I.P. I'm still a fan.
We could bring it back Frankenstein style.
Holy shit, we can.
Get that cool white streak in her hair.
This is a topic that just keeps on giving. God damn. I mean, we haven't even gotten to my side.
No. That basically wraps up what I have on the book end of things.
All right. Well, I
got more on the movie shit too, but we'll circle back to that, I think. Let's
get into the inspiration of it. And so I'm going to talk about two guys, Luigi Galvani and Giovanni Aldini, both Italian.
I was going to say, these sound like Italian names.
They are. They're very Italian. Luigi is the uncle of Giovanni. And so before I get into them and what they did.
So Luigi's the uncle, not the brother.
Yes.
Okay.
Correct.
And Luigi's player 1 then.
Yes.
That's weird.
Yeah. But he did wear the green outfit everywhere he went.
Good.
And the weird hat.
Good.
He was green too.
At least you can tell them apart that way.
He was like an Italian. Oh shit! Hold on. What's his name? Oh, who hosts Family Feud?
Steve Harvey.
He was an Italian Steve Harvey.
This is the second Steve Harvey. This is the second conversation Steve Harvey has come up with me in like the last 2, maybe 3 days.
Really?
Yeah. I don't know why the hell we're talking about it. We're talking about men who just look good in the suit. Like, some men look stiff in a suit and some men just rock it, right? Steve Harvey is one of those guys that just fucking rocks a suit.
I mean, I'm not... I don't think... Unless it's the wrong suit. Unless it's like a bad fitting suit.
Like, there are some people that just look good in a suit. Like even Steve Harvey, Neil Patrick Harris, that's a dude that looks good in a fucking suit.
Yeah.
Like, and then there are other people who like you see some athletes and shit. They put a suit on. It's like, oh, you just look awkward as fuck in that.
Yeah. Okay. Fair enough.
Especially pro wrestlers. Pro wrestlers will never look right in a suit.
I'm thinking
they're too fucking big.
Like the really muscular football players. Not like the linemen. I mean, they're all super muscular, but not the linebacker shaped guys. Like, they look funny in a suit. But
receivers and shit, like smaller guys. But maybe it's just a big guy thing. The Rock will do a suit well.
Right. I mean,
He doesn't do a tie ever, though.
that's not true. No. You ever seen the show Ballers? Like, he's always wearing a suit and he always looks good.
Okay, every time I've ever seen him wearing a suit, he just has the top button undone or whatever.
No, he's done up proper in that show.
Okay.
Yeah. You should watch it. It's a great show.
Is it?
Yeah, it's
I've never even heard of it.
Ballers on HBO.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's why I haven't had HBO in a couple years.
It's The Rock and, I wish I could recall this guy's name off the top of my head. It's the bald guy from Hot Tub Time Machine.
Okay. Oh, the older guy?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Him. It's The Rock and him.
Really?
Yeah. It's a really good show.
They're both
play
funny.
Financial consultants for NFL stars.
Huh. Have you seen Pain and Gain? It was The Rock and Mark Wahlberg.
No. Oh, yeah. We're the bank robbers, right?
Something. They start out as like fitness people and then rob something.
Yeah. I have seen that.
Yeah. Better than I
I
expected it to be.
Yeah. Well, you know what? They both pick good movies.
I don't think I've ever seen a bad Rock movie or a bad Wahlberg movie.
No.
So.
There was that one movie, Date Night, that he was in with Steve. What's his face and Tina Fey?
Oh, who was in that one?
Mark Wahlberg was in that one. Like, he played a small part.
I don't remember him in that one.
Yeah, not impressed with that one.
I don't remember that one. I'm not a big Steve Carell fan, though.
Steve Carell, that's his name. Yeah. Anyway,
Yeah.
let me tell you about what Luigi Galvani did.
Let's attempt to get back on topic.
In terms of Frankenstein. So he was an Italian physician. He was born September 9th in 1737. He studied the effects of electricity on animal tissue. His discoveries led to the voltaic pile, which is a type of battery. Yeah. So he actually contributed to science by, so he would just experiment with dead bodies and just do crazy shit to them. I'll get more into what the next guy did with dead bodies and
was this all shit with electricity?
Yeah,
because that seemed to be a theme there for a while too.
Yeah.
Okay.
This is all electricity. I think that's what inspired. It was at least a spark of inspiration for Frankenstein.
Okay.
Well, that and actually
completely
Luigi.
Intended.
What?
Spark of inspiration. Pun completely intended.
Yeah.
But apparently not, because I caught it and you didn't.
Totally intended that. Yes.
Did you pass that ashtray real quick?
I will. But Luigi and Giovanni were uncle and nephew, and Giovanni was friends with Mary Shelley's father.
Okay.
So apparently...
So it's possible she'd have known about some of this shit. She'd have heard it in conversation or whatever.
The going theory is that they had parties and they'd be over and he would be talking about his work because they were also showmen. They would travel around the country showing these experiments on bodies.
And they moved to Italy at some point too. When did I say they moved to Italy?
I don't know anything about them moving to Italy, but these Italians did go around Europe, or around everywhere, not just Europe. But anyway, so Luigi obtained a doctorate with his thesis De Ossibus on the formation and development of bones. He was a lecturer of anatomy and a professor of obstetrics. So this guy, we know that he dissected people, he dissected things, animal tissue, and experimented on them and came up with this voltaic pile, which is like a tissue-like battery. But he was a professor of obstetrics. Do you know what that means?
I don't.
He was he was a prenatal baby doctor.
Okay.
Like he was a baby doctor inside the womb.
Okay.
So this motherfucker must have fucking done these experiments on fetuses.
Just read something the other day. I saw the headline for it. I don't think I clicked on it. They just successfully did a spinal operation on a fetus in the womb.
Holy shit.
I want to say the Cleveland Clinic, but I might be wrong.
Well, I'm sure.
The Cleveland Clinic does a lot of hard shit, it seems like. I don't know if they do spinal stuff, too.
They do everything.
Do they?
Yeah. They even do psychological stuff.
Do they?
Yeah,
okay.
They do everything.
I might be wrong. It might not be the Cleveland Clinic, but yeah, they just did spinal surgery on a fetus in the womb successfully for the first time.
Okay. Well, and actually, no, I saw the Cleveland Clinic. I went to the Cleveland Clinic once for spinal problems. So they do spinal stuff.
Okay.
I said doo-doo. Anyway, but so yeah, this guy must have done these weird experiments that I will get to here's in a second. He does this. It's weird. Anyway, his early work was in the structure of renal tubes, nasal mucosa, and the middle ear. Okay, imagine
I just
a guy,
heard something the other day. It takes like 12 years to be a ear, nose, and throat doctor.
I mean, so
Which is basically what it sounds like he was doing.
Yes. I mean, each one of those systems is a complete system in itself. So yeah, it's one of the more higher paying niches. But you know what the renal tubes are?
Sounds something optic.
No, it's liver.
Okay.
Or kidney. I'm sorry, it's kidney.
Okay.
Like you've heard of renal failure?
Mhm.
Failure? It's kidney failure. So
I was thinking retinal.
yeah. But so back in the 1700s, you imagine this guy in this like nasty ass clothes, haven't taken a shower in like a fucking week, ripping open these bodies, looking at these kidneys, just kind of ripping them out and looking at them, just like playing with them and writing down what he sees, and fucking nasal mucosa. So he's ripping up the kidneys, he's ripping up the fucking face, the nasal,
Yeah.
and the middle ear, and he's ripping open their heads and just kind of going in and seeing. And then he
I'm sure he's
applies
not
electricity.
ripping. I'm sure he has saws and stuff and blades, and he's not ripping them with his teeth.
I don't not consider saws and blades fucking ripping. I mean, that's fucking ripping the shit out. And I mean, what he's doing is he's cutting through the bone, he's cutting through the skin and everything, and then he's taking his hands and he is ripping this shit out and looking at this shit. So in the late 1770s, he got an electrostatic machine in a Leyden jar and started experimenting on the muscles. So, I don't know. I'm just, these fucking old-timey doctors all had to be sick fucking psychopaths.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, God bless them. They did a lot for us.
I'm sure a lot of them were just legitimately curious minds. But there were definitely some fucking sickos in there, too.
Well, they had to rob fucking graves and dig up corpses, and they sometimes just killed people to fucking get their bodies.
Fucking Da Vinci did the same shit. He was grave robbing and shit.
Yeah.
And I don't think we'd call Da Vinci a sicko. He was definitely
I think everybody would call Da Vinci he was a genius. That does not mean it wasn't a sicko. I think everybody would call Da Vinci a sicko.
You think so?
He was a brilliant sicko.
Da Vinci is one of the greatest minds to ever live.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Still sick. He doesn't. All these guys.
I think the motive for why you do it determines whether you're sick or not.
I don't mean sick, incapable of functioning in a civilized society. I don't mean sick that way.
Right.
There's something fucking there.
But I think the motive of why you're cutting up these corpses has to play some role in it. If you're doing it for knowledge versus doing it for pleasure or whatever.
And I'm glad that all these guys did it. But just being that guy back then, just...
You cut up frogs and shit in school, I'm sure.
I never cut up anything.
No?
Never.
I took a class, zoology maybe, in high school. And there was like a dissection a month in that class.
See...
We did all kinds of shit.
I did not want to. I just didn't hang around in high school too much.
Yeah.
But last thing about this guy is he is famous for making a frog's legs twitch post-mortem.
Oh, he was the first to do that?
Yeah.
Or among the first, maybe?
Well, he was famous for it. I don't know if he was first or not. But then there is his nephew, Giovanni Aldini.
What color did he wear? Because Mario wears red, Luigi wears green. What color does Giovanni wear?
I think Giovanni wore silk pearl everywhere.
Huh.
That's what I'm picturing.
He was a fancy fucker.
I think he was fancy. He was a showman. It specifically says that here in my research. He was born for the stage.
I'm picturing Liberace with a butcher knife.
That's what I'm picturing as well.
Okay.
Yeah. I think it's perfect. Anyway, so Giovanni Aldini was the nephew of, like I said, Luigi Galvani. He became a professor of physics at Bologna in 1798. His scientific work was chiefly concerned with galvanism.
Time out. Is the country Bologna, or is it bologna just like the meat? Or the city, or whatever the fuck that is?
The city's pronounced Bologna.
Okay. Why do we pronounce bologna?
Because Americans are dumb.
Yeah. It's a dumb word.
Yes.
Giant hot dogs. Why don't we just call them giant hot dogs?
Sliced hot dogs.
Yeah. Hot dog burgers.
Sliced bread-like.
Damn.
Loaf sliced hot dogs.
I'm going to get super thick cut bologna and grill it up like a hot dog and see if it works.
I think they do that.
and just put it on hamburger buns.
Does
Then
work.
you only have to buy one set of buns for cookouts.
God damn. Scott.
We need to fucking wake and bake and record first thing in the morning more often. We have all kinds of ideas.
This is the most productive podcast that we've ever done, and I think maybe anybody's ever done. Like, we've uncovered so much shit within the last... How long we've done this?
We're at about 30 minutes, give or take.
Oh, wow. Okay. This has been super productive. Morning podcasts all the time now.
Yeah.
So anyway, Aldini traveled all over Europe, publicly electrifying human and animal bodies. Such spectacles performed on humans and ox heads produced repeated spasmodic movements of facial muscles, arms, and legs. An eyewitness reported Aldini, after having cut off the head of a dog, makes the current of a strong battery go through it. The mere contact triggers really terrible convulsions. The jaws open, the teeth chatter, the eyes roll in their sockets, and if reason did not stop the fired imagination, one would almost believe that the animal is suffering and alive again. The most famous experiment took place at the Royal College of Surgeons in London in 1803 on a hanged man named George Forster. Anatomical dissection had formed part of Forster's death sentence. So this guy, I don't know if they meant like live dissection, like drawn and quartered kind of shit, because that's what that sounds like to me. But maybe it was just post-mortem dissection, like he had to give his body to science.
Right. What was he charged with? Did you know?
You know what? I meant to look him up. No,
okay.
I'm sure it's in the records.
Okay. If we know his name, we can probably find out what he was charged with. First Wikipedia article that comes up for George Forster or Foster. Found guilty of murdering his wife and child by drowning them in Paddington Canal, London.
Oh, I'm totally cool with
He
this.
was hanged at Newgate on 18 January 1803, shortly after which his body was taken to a nearby house where it was used as an experiment by Italian scientist Giovanni Aldini.
Thank you.
So killed his wife and son. I'm okay with that.
Yeah. I hope it was a drawn and quarter situation.
Yeah, to drown them? Yeah.
And I liked the designation dissection. Anatomical dissection instead of drawn and quarter. That sounds more scientific. But it's the same fucking thing. I hope. Anyway, before a large medical and general audience, he took a pair of conducting rods linked to a powerful battery and touched the rods to various parts of the body in turn. When the rods were applied to Forster's mouth and ears, the jaws began to quiver. The adjoining muscles were horribly contorted, and the left eye actually opened. When one rod was moved to touch the rectum, the whole body convulsed. Indeed, the movements were so much increased as almost to give an appearance of reanimation. So
by having your butthole electrocuted, even in death, you will flinch.
Yes. And by all accounts, like it. Like, this guy seemed to be like, ooh, that's awesome. Anyway, so...
You said about cutting the head off the dog. Did you ever see that Soviet experiment where they cut the head off the dog and kept it alive?
I remember seeing that years ago. The article that you recently sent me, there was a link to that.
Okay.
I didn't watch it recently, but I remember watching it a long time ago.
Yeah, they had it blood circulating and everything, and it would look around and pant and attempt to drink, but it just drained into nothing, obviously.
Oh, I didn't realize they
Yeah, they kept it alive for, I think it was a couple of hours. They kept this dog's head alive.
I think I did hear that, actually.
Yeah.
That'd be horrifying, right?
Soviets did some fucked up shit.
Yeah. I mean, a lot of it is valuable scientific information. A lot of it's not. Like, we did the episode on the Nazis. What's that?
The
Butcher of... Huh? The Butcher of Auschwitz?
Oh.
Dr.
Mengele?
Yeah. That shit, that wasn't useful, what he did.
No.
But
no, most of what they did wasn't useful in hindsight, but...
Yeah. Well, some of it was.
Some of the cold weather and altitude shit was. You couldn't humanely do that on volunteers, but other than that...
Well, and then there, the paperclip and all that shit.
Yeah.
They took all the useful...
You're talking about the rocket shit end of things.
Well, that wasn't just rockets.
No. They did everything.
Stuff.
Yeah. We got a whole episode on this if you want to go back a couple episodes.
We're at what, 17 now?
Something like that.
Yeah. So not a couple episodes.
That would have been
10. That'd have been like 3 or 4.
5 or 6-ish.
Maybe. I don't know.
It was 1, and then that file got corrupted, and we had to revisit it.
Oh, yeah. Oh, that's right. We did it later.
Yeah.
Yeah. That sucked. But We did it again.
Yeah.
Anyway, so those stories predated the story of Frankenstein, Mary Shelley's Frankenstein, and were...
And she had some sort of a connection to at least one of those people. So.
Yes, clearly.
Yeah.
Or not clearly, but yes, historically. Yeah, so those probably inspired a little bit of the book, for sure. Which in turn inspired further Frankenstein-esque experiments.
Yeah, it seems like after this book was published, there's a big pop-up of people playing with corpses and shit like that, too.
I think there's a story, I think it's a true story, Burke and something.
Birkenstocks?
No, Burke and...
Oh.
Post or Burke and something. Anyway, it's a movie about two grave robbers.
Oh, I thought this was going to be like a buddy cop show.
Well, it's kind of like
sounds like it could be.
It's a buddy grave robber show. Movie is what it is. But yeah, it's a story of two grave robbers. I think about the same time. Something about Netflix, I think.
So the book Frankenstein went on to be in a shit ton of plays and films and TV, and it's a huge pop culture thing. Obviously, because we're talking about it still.
200 years post.
Yeah. In 1823, The Fate of Frankenstein was a stage play that Mary Shelley and her father actually got to see in person at the English Opera House. So she got to see the very first. Is this a story
of what you did? I know you did it.
In total, 27 stage, film, and TV adaptations, like direct adaptations, have been made about Frankenstein, with 28 quote-unquote loose adaptations.
Oh, more than that, I'm sure.
Yeah, so over 50 variations of Frankenstein have been made over the years that are recognized, at least. I'm sure there's a bunch of low-budget shit and stuff that they don't know about.
Could we title this episode Mary Shelley, the Black Widow? You know what? That's what we're titling it. That's what it's going to be.
Okay.
All right.
Author or murderer?
Could be both. I mean, there's Stephen King, right?
Yeah.
He has kids' hearts in jars and shit.
The first big film for Frankenstein was 1931's Universal. That's the Frankenstein that you think of when you think Frankenstein, more than likely. The Boris Karloff black and white.
1931. So this is 100 years after?
Ish. Yeah. 100 and change, yeah. That was directed by James Whale, W-H-A-L-E, Whale. Whale also directed The Invisible Man in 1932, which is my favorite of those Universal horror movies. The Invisible Man was like a legit bad guy. Really? Like all the other monsters were like, oh, I'm misunderstood and it's not my fault. And the Invisible Man was like, oh, I'm going to fucking kill you. Like,
right.
I had heard something a while back and I couldn't find it again to find the source on it. But the Invisible Man has like the highest body count in any of those movies.
Oh, really?
Yeah. He made a train derail one time and it just went off a fucking cliff and killed everybody inside of it.
I don't think I watched that one.
I have the entire collection.
Oh, I saw it yesterday.
Yeah, I have the fucking box set of every single Universal horror monster movie.
I used to check those classic monster books out of the library when I was in like 4th and 5th grade, out of the school library.
When I was a kid, we'd go to Blockbuster on Friday night or whatever as a family, and 9 times out of 10, it was either old black and white horror movie or an Ernest movie.
That's awesome. My favorite was Wolfman.
Wolfman. That was my favorite growing up. I didn't see the Invisible Man until later on, and that's when I realized what I was missing out.
Maybe I'll have to watch it. What's it on?
I have it on DVD.
Okay, so I still don't know if I can.
I think they make that set in Blu-ray too. It's just dumb expensive on Blu-ray, and they're black and white movies, so I don't really see the point in Blu-ray.
Yeah, I'm sure. But I could just find them online somewhere.
Probably.
Yeah. Let's just go.
Yeah. Whalen directed The Invisible Man in 1933 and The Bride of Frankenstein in 1935, the sequel to Frankenstein. Victor Frankenstein's name is changed to Henry Frankenstein for reasons. I don't know why. He's played by Colin Clive, who reprised his role in Bride of Frankenstein. Boris Karloff played the monster. Also played the mummy in the Universal universe too in 1932. He reprised his role in Son of Frankenstein, and I think he's in Bride of Frankenstein too. So Bride of Frankenstein had the original monster return, the original Frankenstein return, and the original director return.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Wow. Bela Lugosi played Dracula.
Yeah.
Also played Frankenstein. In 1942, he played Igor in Ghost of Frankenstein. In 1943, he played the monster in Frankenstein Meets the Wolfman.
Really?
1948, they made Abbott and Costello Meets Frankenstein, where he reprised his role as Dracula for that one.
Cool.
The Frankenstein with
So is he better Frankenstein or Dracula?
I like him better as Dracula. I think Boris Karloff was a better Frankenstein monster.
Yeah. Yeah.
The Frankenstein monster with his hands out, kind of like that's the Bela Lugosi Frankenstein, actually.
Okay.
In that movie, he was blinded. That's why he walks with his hands in front of him.
Oh. He was blinded? How? Like the blinders on him?
I think it was a brain transplant or something like that went wrong or something. I don't remember exactly. It's been a long time since I've seen that one.
Whoa. Well, the character was blinded.
Yeah. Frankenstein, the monster. Frankenstein's monster was blinded.
I thought you were saying Bela Lugosi was...
No.
Wait, did you say Karloff or Lugosi?
Lugosi played him when he started walking with his hands up.
Okay, I thought you were saying he was
because
blinded.
the monster was blinded.
Oh, okay.
No.
Oh, okay.
Lugosi's last film was...
Wait, that wasn't even the original then... Oh.
No. The Karloff monster doesn't walk with his hands in front of him.
Oh, and that was the original, like, this... Well...
Yeah, Boris Karloff played him first, and he didn't walk with his hands out in front of him. And like sequel, 3-4 movies later, the monster goes blind and is played by Lugosi, who played Dracula, and that's when he starts walking with his hands out in front of him.
Wow, and that made them more famous.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah, when you think of how he looks, the face and everything, that's Karloff, but the walking with his hands out is Lugosi.
You know what? I want to get one of those shirts, those black shirts with Karloff Frankenstein face. You've seen it, right?
Uh-huh.
Yeah, like, I don't know.
I want...
Spencer's or something.
Part of me wants, like, that whole genre thing tattooed on me, but so many fucking people have it. Like, I don't know. Yeah. I love all those movies, but I don't want to just be one of those people that...
You don't have much real estate anyway.
I got legs left. Torso, but I'm never outside without a shirt on. What's the point of dropping hundreds of dollars and stuff that nobody else is going to see?
Yeah. I get that.
Yeah.
But even still, I don't know. You don't have much space.
No, my arms are pretty well spoken for.
Yeah. You got your face.
Yeah, let's not do that.
I don't know. Hey, everybody. If you want Scott to tattoo his face, email us at highermindspodcast@gmail.com. He'll do it if we get enough.
I have been talked into a stupid tattoo in the past, though. That has since been covered up. So.
Yeah. Actually, I have a little work that I need to do to cover up a little bit, too.
Lon Chaney Jr. played the monster, too.
Is that...
Lon Chaney Jr. played the Wolfman.
Chaney, as in, like, Halliburton?
No.
I think you're wrong.
Chaney. Is that even spelled the same way?
We're going to go with it got switched in translation.
Okay. Because he was an American.
Chaney is CG.
Yeah.
Like Che Guevara.
Yeah, Lon Chaney Jr. Played him in Ghost of Frankenstein. Lon Chaney Jr. also played the Wolfman. Lon Chaney Sr. played the Phantom of the Opera and the Hunchback, if you've ever seen those. He was a silent movie actor.
Oh, okay.
Lon Chaney Sr. did all his own makeup for that kind of shit, too.
Oh, no shit.
So he Jekyll and Hyde.
Zoolander style.
Sure. I've seen Zoolander like once. Like when it came out.
It's a brain.
I don't like, what's his
movie.
name? Ben
Stiller?
Yeah, I'm not a Ben Stiller
But
fan.
it's so clever. Like, yeah, it really.
And I like Broken Nose Guy. What the hell is his name? Owen Wilson.
Oh,
He's in that too.
Yeah.
I don't know why he has so much money and hasn't fucking straightened that nose out.
He doesn't have to now.
I guess so. Like, he's known for his broke ass nose.
Yeah. But anyway. I don't like the Meet the Boss. Like, I don't like a lot of Ben Stiller, but that's one of the cleverer ones. He has another one that's super clever too. Booty Sweat. What the fuck is that? Tropic Heat? Is that what it's called?
What? Booty Sweat?
Yeah, that's one of the commercials on it. Tropic Heat? Tropic Thunder.
Tropic Thunder.
Tropic Thunder.
I'm just the guy playing the guy dressed as another guy. How the hell's that line go?
Yeah, something like that. But it's a guy.
That's 2 episodes in a row with blackface.
Oh. Damn.
Blackface
with that too.
and blacker face.
How the fuck?
I saw an interview with Jamie Foxx, and like Jamie Foxx was like, "Oh yeah, I gave him a clear on that. Like, he's good enough. He can do what he wants."
I mean, I do too. He does. I love that movie. Fucking Iron Man go. What's his name? What the fuck's his name?
Tony Stark?
No. The actor.
Robert Downey Jr.
Yeah. He can get away with blackface in that movie. Sure.
Yeah, Jamie Foxx gave him the clear on it, so I guess it's good.
But, okay, so it's a movie, or it's a guy playing another guy. Wait. A guy acting like another guy playing another guy in a movie about a book about a movie about another movie about that book. Or some shit. I forget, like, how it goes, but it's, like, it's super Inception-y.
Abbott and Costello. You ever watch them?
I did. They're still...
I fucking love Abbott and Costello. They did Abbott and Costello meet Frankenstein or meet the Wolfman or some shit. They did a lot of conjoined shit. They're squeezing every penny they could get out of these movies. And Glenn Strange played the monster in that one. Glenn Strange was coached to play the monster by Korolev himself. So that's kind of like the closest to the original.
Was Glenn Strange's real name?
I think so.
Really?
A lot of actors have made up names, though. So
yeah.
We have fucking made up names.
Yeah, we do. Why am I hating on that motherfucker? I'm an asshole. God damn it.
You're a fucking hypocrite is what you are.
We're all hypocrites. I don't care. Fuck.
So yeah, he was coached by Korolev himself, so that's kind of regarded as the best, not Korolev one. He reprised his role in 1944's House of Frankenstein and House of Dracula.
Cool.
I get to nerd out on old horror movie shit.
Yeah, you heard me about Star Trek. I'll listen to this.
Yeah. As I was researching this, I noticed how intertwined that whole Universal Monster universe was.
I mean, it was probably all the same group of people.
Yeah.
I mean, even the crew was probably all the same.
Well, it's like Korolev played the monster and the mummy, and Imhotep in the mummy. So he played 2 roles in the mummy and Frankenstein.
You ever seen Bubba Hotep?
Bubba Hotep?
Yeah, it's with who plays Ash?
Who?
From
from Living Dead or whatever that is.
Oh, Bruce Campbell.
Bruce Campbell. Yeah. I never got into those movies.
Oh, really? I love those movies. I used to have them. I should get them. But Bruce Campbell plays Elvis Presley.
Okay.
Who faked his death, or paid somebody else to die for him, or some shit like that. I forget. And is now a guy named Bubba in a Tennessee retirement home, but he gets attacked by a mummy or some shit, or like reads the Book of the Dead or some shit like that, and he has to fight that off. It's an entertaining movie.
The first Brendan Fraser mummy, hugely underrated. That was such a good fucking movie.
They were, 3 of them, right? They were all good.
The CGI got out of control with them, but yeah, the first one was the best.
What was it? The Scorpion King. That was the first rock movie.
Yeah, terrible. It's amazing he had a career after that.
Right.
Let alone a career this good after that.
Almost all of his other stuff afterwards was good.
Yeah, for the most part.
Yeah.
Scorpion King was awful.
Yeah. Walking Tall? Was that like
a
second or something?
The Rundown?
Yeah, I think it was The Rundown. Yeah.
One of those, those came out pretty close to each other, I think.
Walking Tall is a remake, did you know that?
Uh-huh. Yeah.
I never saw the original.
Based on a true story, too.
Oh, no shit.
Yeah.
No shit.
Yeah, there was really a guy that used to drive around with a big stick of wood and beat the fuck out of people, I guess. Became sheriff of a town or whatever. Like,
wow. Cool.
Yeah, it's, I'm sure, very loosely based, but it's based on a true story.
It probably didn't look like The Rock.
Probably not.
No.
I can't imagine there's many 6.5 foot tall, half black, half Samoan, fucking jacked up, roided out sheriffs out there.
Yeah, there might be one.
The older The Rock gets, the better he looks too. He's in way better shape now than he ever was when he was wrestling.
I think so. I think it might be the bald head too.
But like, he's way more vascular and everything, and cut now. Yeah,
you're right.
Yeah, he's in better shape now as a 50-something-year-old man than he was as a 20, 30-something-year-old wrestler.
Who the fuck? Steven Seagal is the sheriff.
Yeah, Steven Seagal's a joke.
He could kick our asses, both of us,
I don't
at the same
think
time.
So
I think he could.
A lot of his shit is fake as fuck. Look up, get on YouTube, you go down this rabbit hole sometime, look up Steven Seagal is fake, or like something along those lines, and it's just video after video shitting on him. Like,
I mean, he, like, verbally full of bullshit. Like, yes, that's true, but
a lot of this training people think are, like, real fighters and shit are, like, calling him out and stuff.
You know what? If I'll get in a ring with him with pads and shit, I'll spar with him, that's fine. I think he would kick my ass, though. I think he would kick your ass. I think he would kick both of our asses at the same time.
If I can take his back, I can 100% choke him out.
But get his back. I mean, that's the thing.
I wrestled in school, so, like, there's a chance.
It's
been a long time since I wrestled, but, like, I'm sure some of that stuff is still in there.
I don't know. Maybe. I don't know. I think he can take us both. But I'm willing to try. Mr. Seagal.
I'd like to learn Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, actually.
Do it.
It'd be nice to strangle people.
There's a ton of places around here.
That's a very practical martial art. That and Krav Maga are probably the two most practical ones.
My kids are taking Krav Maga.
Yeah? Krav Maga isn't a martial art. It's just ways to hurt people.
Yeah. It's not punch, not punch, not punch. Get them on the ground, not punch, not punch. Get them
Pretty much.
Not punch. Stand up, not punch.
There's a Krav Maga gym up in Fort Collins, too.
Yeah. I almost went to that one.
Right up from NA.
This was in North College Hill.
No, there's one right up from NA.
Okay.
Like,
that's South
within
College,
like a
right?
block of NA, actually.
Yeah.
Yeah, South College.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Is there like that antique place and stuff?
Uh-huh. Yeah, that same area there.
Yeah. Oh, so I don't know if everybody noticed, but we shop at NA, like, almost exclusively.
Yeah.
And recently they gave us some weed, and it was really fucking good.
Yeah.
What'd you get?
Apparently we've shouted them out so many times that they're like, hey, you guys are loyal customers.
And we really are. I almost exclusively shop there.
We drop a lot of money in their building.
They really do. I know a lot of them. Our fucking 420 guest was.
Yeah, Dory works at NA.
Yeah. And, yeah. So, yeah, I met with the marketing director, and she was super cool. I really liked her. Thank you very much. The owner, I've spoken with him several times. Thank you very much. Everybody there, thank you very much. That was a cool place. Where she actually said we're going to get some swag, too. She said that they've got dope swag coming on.
Dope swag?
Yes. Well, so what she said is she likes our swag now, but they've got more dope swag coming on. And I said, oh, you got dope swag. And that was the best dad joke I've ever made. I think that seals the deal with Higher Mind Podcast in NA. Yes, I do.
So my little brother, they just had a baby.
Congratulations.
And like a month or two ago, I'm cruising Amazon just looking at random shit.
Yeah.
And I found an entire book of dad jokes for like dirt cheap. So I just sent it to him, but I didn't say. And,
did you really?
Yeah, I sent it to him.
Send me a link.
And he got it. And I get this text message. He goes, did you send me a book? And I was like, yeah, I got that. He's like, yeah, I figured that was from you. But yeah, congratulations to my brother and sister-in-law. They just had a baby. My cousin actually just had a baby, too.
Congratulations to that dude.
Yeah. Yeah, my cousin and his wife had a little girl, and my brother and his wife had a little boy.
I gave me your brother.
Mm-hmm.
Or I have before, I don't say. Like, it's not a consistent thing.
No.
Probably will again, I hope.
No, we get on and play virtual cowboys and shit.
Yeah. We need to get a new
and
game.
Chicken Horse.
What was that other game? There was another game.
What other game?
Chicken Horse. It's fun to watch.
I'm terrible at Chicken Horse, but I love it. Like, it's so much fun. I had more fun fucking other people over than I do actually making it to the goal.
Well, I mean, yeah. And some of the things that you guys come up with and then get around is amazing.
Spinny moving things with projectiles are like my favorite thing ever.
It's my favorite thing too. It's my favorite thing
They're
to watch.
so unpredictable. If you guys haven't played this game, it came out like a couple years ago. You can download it for, I don't know, $10-15. It's Ultimate Chicken Horse, and it's the shit.
And like I kept on yelling at the game, and H kept on saying, "Hey, do you want to play?" And I'm like, "No, I don't want to play."
I get some of the jumps in it, like my legs flex up and everything. And I'm trying to like you get fucking into it.
Watch it.
I don't know how many times like I'm trying to make fucking jumps, and I notice that like I have one foot like up in the air, like trying to will my character.
And it works half the time.
Yeah, half the time it works 100% of the time. That wraps up what I had on the movie end of things.
I mean, that's what I got about the science. Yeah. And you know what? I want to also mention that this particular topic had a perfect blend of like what we are interested in.
Yeah. Yeah, you get the true crime thing. I get to nerd out on old movies.
Yeah. I hate anatomy though, like blood and guts, like medical blood and guts.
See,
movie blood and guts, I love it.
Blood and guts doesn't bother me, but like shit and snot and like other bodily fluids, the ones that are supposed to be able to come out of you do bother me. The ones that are supposed to stay inside don't bother me.
Weird.
Like cuts and broken bones and like first aid type shit, I have no problem doing that and patching up people or whatever.
I can't let myself give blood. I give blood, but
we were camping in Pennsylvania one time, and kid wrecked a 4-wheeler bad. All he had on was swim trunks. And when he wrecked, he slid. And he was a skinny shit, and he had worn his hip. He had slid on his hip, and you could see his hip bone through his skin.
God damn, I don't.
And he's like going into shock and everything. We get him up to the house, get him in the shower, fucking rinse the gravel and everything out of him. He's going into shock, so we throw him in a pickup truck. We're so far removed from civilization, it's like a 45-minute drive to the closest hospital. We made it in like 30 minutes. We come screaming into the emergency.
For that kid.
Oh my god, yeah. We come screaming into the emergency room. I run inside. I'm like, I need a wheelchair. And they're like, you need to sign some paperwork. And then they're dragging him in. I'm like, I need a fucking wheelchair. They're like, oh shit, you need a wheelchair. His parents came from Ohio to wherever the fuck we were in Pennsylvania. It took us like a good 3 hours to drive there. They made it in like an hour and a half, 2 hours. I don't know how the fuck they made it there.
Ooh, like.
They must have been cooking.
And caught every not caught spot.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
But I ran into him like a year later, and he was all scarred to shit, but he made it, so.
How old was he? About?
He was... I bet he was between 16 and 18 at the time.
That's not grow outable then.
Oh, no, he's going to be scarred for life.
Yeah. Like at a certain age, like, I don't know, under 10, I think, you can get... I have scars that would have been giant had I got them, excuse me, I got them as an adult, but I just kind of grew out of them.
Yeah. Yeah, my one knee used to be all scarred up from bicycle accidents, and you can't even tell it anymore.
Yeah.
I had gravel scrubbed out of my knee.
Though.
That was fun.
What's that?
I had gravel scrubbed out of my knee once.
Ew.
Yeah. I ate shit on a bike in the gravel. Like the little tiny shitty gravel, the little white gravel.
Yeah, ooh.
Yeah.
I was playing, like, I was 5 or something. I was playing football across the street at the vacant lot where all the kids played. And I fell on, I think, a broken glass or something.
Mm-hmm.
I got my elbow all cut up, but, like, I don't know, 5, 6, 7 years later, like, a chunk of glass kind of, like, came out of my arm, like, out of my skin.
Damn.
Eventually.
I picked up a splinter off my aunt and uncle's deck one time in my toe. I was running on barefoot. And I couldn't get the fucker out. So I'm like, it'll come out. That fucking splinter stayed in my toe for like 2 years. Finally, I had a little bump on the bottom of my toe. It didn't hurt or anything. There was just a bump on the bottom of my toe. And I don't know what happened. Finally, one day I just cut it open and dug it out of there. But yeah, I had a little piece of splinter in my toe for like 2 years. It's starting to rain.
I don't know.
Sounds
I wonder
like
if you can hear this on the audio. It sounds like rain.
Yeah.
Is it supposed to rain here?
I think today's supposed to be ugly.
At least it wasn't snow. Oh
Yeah.
my god, it snowed on
They
the
got
first day of summer.
Fucking 20 inches, I think I saw
Almost
online.
2 feet on the first day of fucking winter. Or summer.
Summer. Yeah.
Winter weather advisory on the first day of fucking summer. The longest day of year. The most snow.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah, over 10,000 feet they're expecting snow.
Fucking crazy, crazy Colorado. Goddamn. I'm glad I was here for it.
I don't know if they have Trail Ridge open all the way up.
I know.
I haven't been up that way yet. Okay, I haven't been up that way yet this year.
Yeah, well,
usually they try to open Trail Ridge for like Memorial Day, but we've had so much snow this year that they just haven't.
Well, I mean, at least it's a lot of ice path. That's good.
As long as Pikes Peak is open in time for the hill climb, I don't care.
When is that?
I think it's usually the end of June.
I'm coming back at late. You know what? And actually, all that snow, that'll be nice for, like, I'm coming back late summer to Whitewater Rapids with my son.
Oh, yeah? Fuck that.
What, you don't do that?
That sounds like a good way to drown. Like,
no, it's fun. It's we've done it before. It's a good time. Like, if you can get crazy and drown on it, and we actually the last time I went with my kids,
drowning is like one of my biggest fears. Like,
do you swim much?
I can swim.
Yeah.
I don't like to swim.
No,
I can swim pretty decent. Like, I used to swim laps and everything after high school. Like, after we had the gym right across the street from the high school, I used to walk over and work out.
Yeah. Anyway, so this has been the Higher Minds Podcast.
Yeah, I'm Scott.
I'm Papa Darby.
Where can you find us? Let's switch this up. We'll let you do it first.
I don't know. This is difficult.
You went out of order.
Well, HigherMindsPodcast.com.
HigherMindsPodcast.com.
HigherMindsPodcast at gmail.com.
At gmail.com.
Or Facebook.
Twitter.
SoundCloud. Instagram. YouTube. Good bit.
It is.
Okay.
HigherMindsPodcast.com. Deuces, everybody.